real one, we got affection, we got Apollo, we got attention, we raise it up for the figure, it's gotta be, raise it up for the figure, it's gotta be.
How's it going? Dallas made it through Miami. Toronto next few days. So first and foremost, boom. Class in here, sold out Dallas. A lot of people came last minute. I would like to firstly and foremost thank people, okay, for flying in from different areas of America, and also those who have actually drove like 14 hours to come and see us. So thank you very much. It's been great because I've actually conversated with people for 6 months, 12 months, whatever it may be, maybe even longer, over social media. And then it's actually good to actually come here and actually meet people in person. So thank you. Number two, I've took some time today to wrap up a lot of the trades that I've been going through recently, which I've been posting out there, because I've been posting to give people an insight into the Astra FX upgrading material. Now, recently had a nice run in the market, and I've been quite transparent with everybody in the room. So if I opened my phone, everybody could go and see the trades. Then I was explaining the trades and the risk reward setups and so on and so forth as to what they can expect from the stuff I'm going to deliver. At the moment, currently, USD CAD down on that, got another trade open there too. So people say, oh, you're so transparent, this, that. I haven't been. Over the years, I've actually grown into a person in which has no shame in showing the ups and downs of myself. I think for many of us, and looking around the industry, a lot of people try to hide the downs or the dark side of themselves. And for me, just putting things out there allows people, they're gonna comment, they're gonna observe, they're gonna say whatever they want. But overall, people, if you put your like faults out there or insecurities, whatever it may be, people can't really use too much against you because you're already comfortable with it. You've learned from it, and you're actually growing from it. So when people say, oh, great, you showed your losses, it's like, it's part of the market. I think so many people are so far behind mentally when it comes down to trading, that a lot of it's so fucking simple. And we just overcomplicate and overconfuse it. So people like compliment, oh yeah, this. I'm like, but that's how it works though. So showing everybody in the room, all the recent trades, there's like 207 trades there, whatever it may be, like 78% win rate. Everything that I posted on Twitter is an insight and a warm up as to what's to come. Now I was explaining to some of the guys earlier on too, that the capital, which I mentioned in the last video that we're actually going to be giving out for people to actually trade, I was explaining to them that no one else is really doing that, and the reason why like the updates that I have taken so long is because I was setting the venture capital up, and I mentioned it to everybody here in America, and very, very excited and motivated for it. So I think over here there's a very, very large gap in the market when it comes down to Forex, trading, information, and providing people with funds to actually trade from, be motivated with, and then go from there. So really, really excited, and I can't wait to actually put that out there. I've been sharing some of my personal losses and tips and motivational advice as to how hard the road is of trading. Now on Twitter, it was like a week ago, I put out there that one of my biggest losses was 1.8 million. Okay, at the time, it was like 4 years ago. At the time, it broke me. It completely broke me. I couldn't trade. I couldn't even look at a chart for like 6 months. So I was explaining to everybody that the money that I have at the moment to trade with, okay, I got to that point through the bad experience that I had. My personal goal is to have money under management. I want to reach like billions and billions. Not millions, I'm talking billions. I say to people like, what? They can't really comprehend or fathom the fact that the world is limitless and your mind is limitless as to what you can achieve. So I mention it and people are like looking at me like, what the fuck? So that's my goal. I want to really, really take everything to the next level. I believe that, number one, my personality, I'm quite extreme in what I do. I'm sure like some of you guys follow me and think I'm a bit, crazy. I am crazy. I think you have to be crazy to actually change the way you live and actually change the world overall. But I want to go for like the highest heights. As I explained to people earlier on, all of the setbacks that you face, the ups, the downs, the wins, the losses, if your heart is in the project, whether it be trading or whatever it may be, ride the wave. You're going to be depressed for a while when you go through these bad times in business or trading or whatever it may be. But looking back in hindsight, I would never ever change certain losses that I've had for the world because it strengthened my psychology. So Psychology 101, I'm going to be sharing some more tips and pointers on YouTube with people in terms of how to specific steps and how to strengthen your own psychology. It actually is helped by actually knowing how the market works. Once you get that confidence and you're using the correct tools and you can actually see where momentum, where price is going, where money is actually flowing through the market, how to jump on that, everything else increases, okay? From my personal experience, and many of you guys can relate, back in the day when I was looking at shitty charts, shitty indicators, shitty advice, that you're in this loop, you're like a hamster in the wheel. When you're the hamster in the wheel and you're just going through some bullshit, your psychology can't strengthen because you're lost in a whirlwind of no tomorrow. So I'm giving people specific steps, all of my advice in Astro 2.0, giving out accounts, capital management, 50K up to $1 million for people who actually, dedicate themselves and be motivated. So I was mentioning to the people in here, I had one question. How do you manage an account, or what advice would you give $1,000, $2,000, $3,000? I was like, cool, I started with that. Had my ups and downs throughout, but it's all about how you program your mind first and foremost to, am I going to try to flip this? Do I need to make money? All of these generic things that can just keep us in this time warp of going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I said to people, look, practice for a while, learn the market. Don't forget money for a while, learn the market first. Once you're confident with the market, you start to apply money on top, and then things kind of slide into place. A lot of us are very, very stubborn, and we don't like to sacrifice the monetary side of things in order to actually gain market experience. We jump straight in, and what happens is, if you had a bad experience at first, then we're kind of chasing that bad experience. If you lose 10K, boom, every deposit you put back into your account afterwards, your mind is distracted from creating and making the goal of being a good trader, analyst first, trader afterwards. With that being said, we're chasing the original capital loss that we've dealt with. And I'm just going off like some of the information that I've been sharing today, and people could relate to it. They lose some money at first, chasing it for the next year. Whilst they're chasing it, they're not focused on the art, the art of the game. So it's mad. But if you learn the tips, you're not going to completely avoid it. If you know something's there, you might fall into the trap of doing it, but then you can recognize it. Recognize it, you move on, onwards and upwards, faster and faster. So to conclude that sentence, what you could do, people in the room, America, I'm coming to America to distribute funds, distribute capital for the goal I've just mentioned, multi-billions, managing funds, crypto, Forex, commodities. Okay, I've still got a long way to go in my own personal game. My psychology is on point, and I've reached a pinnacle yet. I did tweet something the other day in regards to once you actually think you're on a decent level, a high level, take a step back, realize that you are nothing, and then continue to accelerate and advance. So you always got to step back. When you think you're here, step back. Take it from me, when I've been at like pinnacles and I've reached heights of certain amounts of capital, and I thought, okay, I've made it now, this is it, this is my goal. I've dropped down. I've learned from it. It might take many times to actually learn from your losses, but look at the picture, look at where your life is going, look at your life path and what your goals are. So with me, as I say, I want to just take the roof off this entire game. I want to scout people who are motivated and good at trading, maybe specific currency pairs, bring this network together and create like an elite group with all of my contacts that I have. And I know full well that overall, nobody's really doing that. Nobody, especially over here, you have obviously your like Chicago, you have New York, Wall Street, doing their thing, but because of the inside information that I know about the game, especially the retail sector, nobody's doing it. A lot of people that you see just get steamrolled by the market. And some of the trades that I share on MT4 and whatnot, it's MT4. You have to transition away from MT4, the platform. Once you have enough money and you have the right setup, you go straight to liquidity. For instance, JP Morgan, 25 million, boom, you bypass a retail broker, you level up. So when you look around, and I thought back in the day, maybe like a year ago, 2 years ago, that was the shit. Okay, everyone falls into that trap of thinking that the Mr. Big Man when you do well. And then I took a step back, and I did some traveling for a while and this, that. And looking back in hindsight, I was nothing, because you always have to continue learning. So people, I give this advice again on Twitter every day, take a step back, realize that you ain't shit, and there's always a next plateau to go. There's always some bigger guy in the game. There's always a different level to attain when it comes down to mentality and trading. Now, with that being said, once I do reach that level, which is probably going to be in the next 2 years, I have a 5-year plan of progression. Okay, tomorrow I could go to Bugatti London tomorrow, right, and buy a Veyron. I could do that, and I could put it on Instagram. I'd be like, okay, cool, write this big ass caption about how I've done so well, or how this, that. No, I've done all of that now. So not Bugatti level, but the enjoyment factor and the show-offy factor, we all fall into the trap of doing so. Get the money, and all my capital now is being, boom, 3 to 5 year plan, investing in everybody who's joining Astro, investing in Astro America, and investing in myself, and then flipping it. Nice steady gains. You know, I think just round this video up, psychology 101, I was explaining to everybody earlier on that learning how to trade is one thing, learning how to trade properly and reprice is another. Then you got the psychology. Then you also have bypassing broker techniques and tactics that they use. Understanding the overall psychology of the herd. There's so many factors that you get over, okay? But then when you start to actually make money, if you come from nothing, then it's a different story of you want to splurge, you want to enjoy. It's great to enjoy, it's great to splurge, travel as much as possible to get that experience, people experience, culture experience, and you are going to go through phases in life where you're just fucking wild, straight wild. You know, you can go through ups and downs of making a lot, losing a lot, making a lot, losing a lot. Once you get over that and you get that out of your system, then you start to think, if you're smart and intelligent, you're going to start to think, okay, cool, bigger goals, bigger plan. Where do I want to be in 5 years? I look at people that they just want to like continuously trade through the little shitty retail broker as a retail trader for the next 5 years. Teach people for the next 5 years. There's no like progression of what's it called? There's no progression that's unique to build something incredible and be the institution. I want to be the bank and the institution with people all around the world trading my capital. So that's what it's about. So I just thought I'd drop into this video, discuss a few things as to what's going on. Tomorrow, Sunday, straight chart work. I'm going to do my analysis for the week ahead. I was going over gold earlier on. Smashed gold a few days ago, like 200 pips, 250 pips, things like 1552. Put a tweet. I seen it make a third high, bypassing specific things I'm not going to mention here. Bang, put the trade on. Woke up in the morning, 1527 here, 1527 here. Went a little bit lower, but we're going to go lower now, 1480. I'm going to catch up with everybody on Twitter, catch up with everybody, and maybe just do a couple trades here and there, because Toronto is going to be a little bit wild as well. So Dallas, so far so good. Great food, great women, great weather, great people. Just gotta keep it real. So guys, I'm gonna drop back in probably on the way to Toronto. I might share a few trade setups with you and stuff, but I just thought I would share a piece of my mind. Share a piece of my mind as to what's been going on, and some psychology tips and pointers, and my personal goals as to I'm gonna come to America. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. All right, cool. So check back in with you soon. Saturday night. If I make it tomorrow, I'll see you guys soon.